Thank you, Lavanya ma'am. With tribute to Swami Vivekananda, universal harmony icon, and Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, the treasure house of homeopathy, who shared all his knowledge for the sake of humanity and is known as a vigilant human pharmacologist. My today's say is based on his pharmacology and the best of his potencies, that is Medicament Au Globule, a scientific enigma. Why it is known as enigma? Because as the authenticity of posthumous sixth edition was still doubted and this potency is not in vogue, so I think that I should focus on the literature review of all this potency. So before I start my say, I would like to thank Dr. Kingsuk sir, President of All India Homeopathic Student and Youth Association, moderator Dr. Chaudhary sir, International Coordinator of Homeopathy, coordinators Dr. Lavanya Sai ma'am, National General Secretary, Dr. Anindita Sen, Coordinator, Central Working Committee, Dr. Rabia Tashfin, co-in charge of back office, and Dr. Mansi Tyagi ma'am as an marketing head and editor of Homeopathy 360. Apart from that, those who are contributing to present this seminar, I would be thankful to all of them. So what is this Medicament Au Globule? So let us revise the literature. There goes a story of a Gordian knot. Why I have selected this particular thing? Because there was some dilemma regarding the potencies, and Dr. Stuart Close in his chapter 13 of homeopathic posology has mentioned one word of a Gordian knot. So what is this Gordian knot in homeopathic parlance? So that was the difference was there, and there was a tug of war between the two groups of homeopaths, and the differences was of low potency and high potency. So it was in dilemma that which potency to be utilized wisely. So this mythological story is regarding the legend of a Gordius, a peasant, a farmer who became a king of modern Turkey today, and he tied his chariot to the post with an intricate knot, so complex that no one could untie it. An oracle had prophesied that whoever unraveled the knot would become the ruler of Asia. When Alexander the Great arrived in Gordium in 333 BCE, he was confronted with the challenge of untying the knot, and instead of struggling with it, he sliced it in half with his sword, demonstrating his decisiveness and boldness. This act becomes symbolic of a creative or unconventional solution to an apparently unsolved problem. Next slide, please. That is on pharmacological background. Kindly change the slide. So this particular mythological story gives us or symbolizes us that challenges requiring the bold action or thinking, you should think outside of the box. So Dr. Hahnemann, what he introduced was that of a homeopathic pharmacology, because we know that he was a very refined worker, and he worked from 1810 to 1843 to revise all these new methodologies according to his clinical understanding. So we know that what is pharmacology means. It has been derived from the Greek word, from the word pharmakon, which means drug, and logos means knowledge. We are out of the box. Apart from the conventional medicine, our pharmacology says that it referred as homeopathic matra medica, which deals with the study of substances used in homeopathy to understand their effect on human body. It focuses on the preparation, properties, and therapeutic application of remedies based on the principles of homeopathy as established by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Next slide, please. So let us see and check out what was the pharmacological background during Dr. Hahnemann time and before him. So as he was a prodigious reader of all the languages, literature, medicinal literature, so he has came to conclusion of dynamization after going through all this literature. And when he saw the roots of medical profession in the West, which was arose out of the Greek civilization in the basin of Aegean Sea. In the earliest record of ancient Greece, one finds a similar mixed concept of a drug or pharmakon, a word that means magic spell, remedy, or poison. Hippocrates, please go to the previous slide. Yes. So Hippocrates refined the rational tradition within the Greek medicine, building on foundation laid by previous philosophers. Hippocrates constructed a rational explanation of illness. He conceived a conceptual link between the environment and humanity by connecting four elements of earth, fire, air, and water. Most of the Greek medicines were prepared from plants, and first great study of plants in the West was accomplished by Theophrastus, a student of Aristotle. It was through with the teaching and writing of Galen, a Greek physician practicing in Rome in the 2nd century AD, that the humoral system of medicine gained popularity for the next 1500 years. Extreme punishments was given out to rebels who dared to question his knowledge, setting aside the conservative drugs. Galen devised an elaborate system that attempted to balance the humor of an ill individual by using drugs of the contrary nature. For example, to treat an external affection, a follower of Galen might apply cucumber to cool and bait the drug or sub-Galenic methodology. So he was also credited to known as the, and he used mixed pharmacology or polypharmacy. So he was known as the father of polypharmacy. Galen had an atrion where he received the patient and dispensed the remedies. He also had an apotheca or store and preparation room. So after that, the name for the pharmacist apotheker has been mentioned. The changing time, like the Middle Ages, is the period from the first fall of Rome and the fall of Constantinople. The first half of his millennium used to be called the Dark Ages by historians because of political and social chaos that existed at that time. Then came the Renaissance, where the Gutenberg began printing and started an information revolution. Within half a century, Columbus had discovered the New World. Vasco da Gama found a sea route to India. Commerce based on money, banking was established, and this was the time for the new ideas, thought, reinterpretation of the old classical themes, and new exploration. So new drugs were arriving from far-off lands unknown to the ancients. For pharmacy, printing had a profound effect on the study of plant drugs because illustration of the plant drugs could be reproduced easily. Among the most gifted of these investigators was Valerius Cordus, whose dispentorium became the official standard for the preparation of medicine. In the city of Nuremberg, and generally is considered as the first pharmacopoeia. Then the doctrine of signature evolved, where the Paracelsus, who was the most important advocate of chemically prepared drugs from crude plants and mineral substances, he stated again and again that his total faith in observation. At the same time, he preached the doctrine of signature, the belief that God had placed a sign, a disease in a particular substances. We have many examples like Conaium. It has a whirling imprint on his root, so it can be resembled to the vertigo. So his advocacy of chemically prepared medicine sparked the growth of modern pharmaceutical science. Chemical processes, especially distillation, empowered the followers of Paracelsus to isolate the healing principle of drug. Eventually, as the efficacy of these drugs became known, and they entered professional medical practices and appeared in the book of medicine. Then how the pharmacy was being further developed. So during the same period, when men and their ships sailed the seas looking for a new land and returning with new drugs, practitioners of pharmacy explored a much smaller but equally excited world in their laboratories. Tobacco, cascara, ipecac, cinchona were among the scores of new plants and drugs from the New World. Cinchona bark, from which quinine was extracted in 1820, created a crisis within scholastic medicine. Galen elaborated system of balancing humors by using drugs of opposite qualities could not explain the cinchona bark's efficacy against malaria. Not only did the bark cure malaria fevers, but it had little effect on other fevers. Here was the something Galen said could not exist, and a specific remedy for the specific diseases. The legal and scientific foundation of pharmacy were also established at around this time, as also organization that represents pharmacy. This led to standardization of medicine through publication of books called pharmacopoeias. The medical school philosophy during Dr. Hahnemann's time was based on rationalism, that is, on logical basis, empiricists by experience, and Methodists who just had a faith and a social belief. But homeopathic pharmacodynamics differs here, and then the particular upbringing of theory of dynamization arose by Dr. Hahnemann. So homeopathic pharmacy is based on dynamization. Please change the slide. So why this potentization or dynamization came into existence? Next slide, please. Next, please. So this particular slide has been given drug, medicine, and potency. Previous one on potentization, or yes, same. So what is this concept of every particular entity is there in homeopathy? Why? What are drugs, what are medicines, and what are remedy? We have to get acquainted with what are these essential. Drug is any crude substance which has power to alter the state of health. In homeopathy, we explain medicine as that the preparation which is prepared according to the pharmacopoeias. So homeopathic pharmacopoeia says that homeopathic medicine is which when drug has been potentized homeopathically and proved on healthy human being, both sexes and different constitution. And when this medicine becomes remedy, so if it covers the symptom similarity and cure is achieved. So we have to get acquainted of the definition theoretically of each entity, and then only we would be able to utilize it practically very nicely. So then comes what is then this potentization means. Next slide, please. So why Dr. Hahnemann has introduced the concept of potentization? As we know that he has added this by evolving or making more changes from first edition to the fifth edition, and he has added the concept of dynamization in the fifth edition because he has adapted some theories of vital principles in fourth edition, and then he says that the life-preserving force is dynamic in nature, the noxious forces are dynamic in nature, and hence the disease-curing medicinal forces must also be dynamic in nature. This is because the action and reaction take place only between the two similar forces of the same manifestation. So this particular observation of him has given him suggestion to introduce the newer concept of dynamization. Several homeopaths like Dr. Lesser, Dr. Boyd, and Dr. C.E. Wheeler, many more have made several attempts to explain the action of medicine, which is dynamic on the ground of scientific evidences. Some practitioners have an idea that energy in the nature can be stored in solid, liquid, gaseous, and radioactive state. Also, Dr. Boyd has experimented on the dynamic medicine with an instrument called E-manometer, and this instrument can detect the electromagnetic energy and also its intensity in the different substances. His experiment with the instrument showed that different dynamized homeopathic remedies contain different electromagnetic power in different potencies. By Dr. Stuart Flow's explanation, we know that the homeopathic potentization is a mathematico-mechanical process for the reduction according to the scale of crude, inert, or poisonous medicinal substances to a state of physical solubility, physiological assimilability, and the therapeutic activity for the use of homeopathic healing remedies. Dynamization, the process by which the medicinal substance is reduced to such an extent that the physiological chemical property get totally nullified and the inert capacity of the medicine, the S, was liberated free for the therapeutical potential. Many of the authors in their literature had given the precise different definitions, and he says that dynamization reduces the side effect where the massive doses causes trouble and bring more side effect. The antigen theory goes that when antigen gets foothold in the living organism, it captivates and misdirect the cells, causing the disharmony, which results in loss of homeostasis. To encounter the action of the antigen, medicines are employed which are either massive in doses or minute in doses. The employment of massive doses were universally a norm, but till the Dr. Hahnemann times. Then Dr. Hahnemann has introduced a novel and revolutionary idea of dynamization and potentization. So here we should also know what is the difference between dilution and dynamization. So dilution is weakening of a substance by adding water, but the cross reference dynamization is enhancing the quantity of a drug, quality of a drug by reducing the quality of the particular medicine to reduce its toxicity. The next slide, please. So again, we have to see regarding the various potencies which has there in homeopathy. The drug strength, what we call the power of medicine or potencies. So potencies in homeopathy is prepared according to decimal potency, where the ratio of medicine and that of the vehicle is 1:10 and represented by X. The another potency is centesimal potency, where the drug and the vehicle ratio is 1:100, which is represented by C, and the 50 millisimal potency, what we call as LM potency or Medicament Au Globule, where the drug ratio and the particular vehicle ratio is 1:50,000. So various stages of potencies are primitive potency, low potency, medium potency, and high potency. We have to get acquainted the categorization of this potency, because our prescription will be based upon the susceptibility of a patient. Then the various parameters are over there. The susceptibility may also change according to the similarity of symptoms, which gives the high susceptibility, age, temperament, habit, drug, reaction to pathological condition, and the oversensitive patient. Next, the selection of potency will also depend upon the seat of disease, whether the disease is acute and rapid, with gross pathological presentation, sluggish reaction, having only mental symptoms, or only physiological disturbances. Then again, it would be depend upon the stage and duration of diseases, whether the patient is having low vital reaction, terminal cases of long duration, or active vitality, or acute condition. Then the nature of disease or magnitude of disease will suggest you for the selection of potency, whether the disease is acute or chronic, then whether patient has from the different physicians, that is previous treatment by the drugs, it will require some another potency. For palliation cases, it will need a low potency. So also the selection of potency will depend upon the action of various drugs. Acute medicines are over there where the duration of action is very less. Chronic medicines are over there, or defective medicine where the duration of action of medicine are too long. So the selection of potency will also depend upon it. So we have to identify which potencies are low potencies, medium, and high potencies. So up till this time, after Dr. Hahnemann, Dr. Kent has prepared his own way of prescription, and he has named it as an octave method of, or a doctrine of series and degrees, or octave method, where he says that when one's potency is not suffice, repeat it once and again, then change to go for the higher potency. So 330, 200, 1M, 10M, CM, DM, and CCM. So this was the hierarchy of utilizing potency up to the time of Kane. During the lifetime of Dr. Kane, the 6th edition was not being published. So there was a very chaotic condition that how to use the higher new scale of potentization, though Dr. Hahnemann has mentioned in his theory of chronic diseases. But up till this time, these potencies were in vogue. So the rule of the new potency was not yet known to the various people. Next slide, please. So what was the need? Why there was a need for new scale of dynamization, which stimulated Dr. Hahnemann to introduce the LM potency. So throughout his clinical cases, the rapid gentle cure was delayed by centesimal scale. There was an undesirable medicinal aggravation, and next, that is the after administration of single dose, one has to wait for a long time helplessly for the action of a medicine. Again, the frequent repetition of medicine was not possible. So this was the conditions why he introduced the new scale, which was very refined and which was having the medicinal particular power 1:50,000. Next slide, please. So how the evolution of new scale but perfect method of dynamization has been taking place. So in 1833 to 18, next slide, please. Slide. Yes, thank you. In 1833 to 1842, he advocated a new scale of potencies known as new method of dynamization or new altered but perfect method of dynamization. Because with centesimal scale, he was having an aggravation in a patient. He was not able to repeat the medicine frequently. He had to wait and watch. So that's why he introduced this new scale of potency. But he has, this was the name 50 millisimal was coined by Dr. Pierre Schmidt of Geneva. The new method of dynamization decreased the medicinal substance by 50,000 times for dynamization. So it is termed as 50 millisimal scale of potency. Why it was named as Medicament Au Globule? Because Dr. Hahnemann used one poppy seed to prepare for the higher potency. That is, he used the globule method for preparing higher potencies rather than in centesimal. He was using a drop method. So the drop method of centesimal was known as Medicamentum Au Globule. Next slide, please. How this particular new but altered method of potency has been denominated. So it can be denominated as 0/1, 0/2, 0/3, up to 0/30 or higher potencies, or LM/1, LM/2, LM/3, LM/4 by various countries. The denomination differs. Q/1, Q/2, Q/3. This particular Q is being used in specifically in Germany, which stands for quinquaginta millisimal. The 0 in 0/1 stands for the poppy size seed of 10 number globule. Next slide, please. We'll see the preparation of this particular Medicament Au Globule. There are various steps of preparation. Next slide, please. The preparation has been divided into 3 parts, that is preparation of mother potency by trituration, preparation of mother tincture, and preparation for high potencies. The next slide, please. 1 grain of medicinal substance triturated with 300 grains of sugar of milk for 3 hours, resulting in the third 3C centesimal potency, and the drug strength here is lakhs. The preparation of tincture, that is in step 2, 1 part of triturated powder is dissolved in 500 drops of liquid vehicle consisting of 400 drops of distilled water and 100 drops of alcohol. This becomes the mother tincture of 50 millisimal potency. 1 drop of mother tincture is then added to 100 drops of pure alcohol in a clean phial after 100 succussions. This becomes the first LM potency and marked by 0/1. This first LM potency, that is 0/1, on which the liquid is poured over a poppy seed size globule, then dried on blotting paper. This becomes 0/1 potency, which is known as Medicament Au Globule. The next step, the process continues by using 1 globule from a previous potency, dissolving it in water, adding 100 drops of alcohol and giving 100 strong succussion. Nowadays, these potencies are easily available with the various pharmaceutical companies, and it is very convenient for all homeopaths to get easy all these potencies. During Dr. Hahnemann time, the pharmaceutical companies were not available. The apothecars was not used to prepare this medicine. The physician who practice homeopathy, they themselves used to prepare this medication. So that's why he has given that the knowledge of pharmacy for a homeopathy is essential in aphorism number 3 as one of the requisite knowledge of physicians. So we don't have to tackle much more for preparation of this potency, but many of the homeopaths from our city used to prepare their own LM potencies during our study time, and they used to explain us how the miracles of this potency treat many of the uncurable cases. Next slide, please. After how to administer this particular medicament doses, learning this pharmacological application is at most important for all the new budding homeopaths, and I request that make know what are these potencies and how homeopathic pharmacology works, and it would be beneficial for your clinical cases also. So preparation of medical solution, how we have to prepare for dispensing to the patient. That is a new vial of 120 or 60 or 30 ml with new washer and cap are taken. Then 3/4 part of a vial is filled up with purified or distilled water. Only one medicated globule of number 10 of indicated medicine in desired potency is added to this solution. 5, 8, and 10 drops of rectified spirit is added so that the medicine should be preserved. The vial is closed with cork tightly and the medicinal solution is ready for use. Then how to dispense it? The methodology is called as plussing method by Elizabeth Wright. This medicament globule should be given in a plussing doses. Successful dilution, one particular drop is taken in 3/4 glass of pure water and stirred well and administered 1 teaspoon, discarding the rest. If there is aggravation, further dilution is done in the second, third, or fourth glass, giving only 1 teaspoon spoonful and discarding the rest. Repeat this method for each potency. So as you achieve a rapid and gentle cure, you have to dilute it more further and further. No same particular preparation should be given. It should be stirred or should be succussed for every renewed doses. So this is called as plussing method by Elizabeth Wright. So next slide please for modus operandi or mechanism postulated by homeopathy. The concept has been explained as we know in aphorism number 29 and 148. Particularly, Dr. Hahnemann has explained the modus operandi of homeopathic medicine, but now the particular scientist in vogue, they have explained the exact mechanism of action pertaining to quantum and energetic theories. That it says that some theories suggest homeopathic remedies work through quantum effects or by modulating the body's bioenergetic field. Secondly, it explains the concept through the memory of water, where the explanation has given that the water retains a memory substance diluted in it during potentization, influencing its energetic properties. Thirdly, remedies are thought to resonate the specific vibrational pattern of disease's state, neutralizing the disturbances. This particular modus operandi also depends upon the dynamic action of vital force, which suggests that homeopathic medicine works by dynamically affecting the vital force, the life energy within an individual. Next, the individualizing action, that homeopathic treatment is personalized, taking into account the unique individual symptoms of each patient. The other factor is dose and potency. The correct dose and potency of medicine are crucial for effective treatment. Stimulation of healing responses. Homeopathic medicine aims to stimulate the body's natural healing responses. There should be, unlike conventional drug, homeopathic medicine do not exert a direct pharmacological effect, and the homeopathic medicine becomes non-toxic because of this methodology of potentization. The homeopathic medicines are also thoroughly proved to determine their effect and the symptom pattern. What are the advantages of Medicament Au Globules? It minimizes the aggravation. The frequent repetition for rapid cure is possible, while in centesimal scale we were not able to repeat the doses frequently. The assessment after few doses, we can go through the action of remedy and can assist after administrating only few doses. The dual purpose of palliation and curative purpose has been solved by this particular new methodology. Then repetition of higher potencies is possible, and no overdrugging or homeopathic aggravation, risk of homeopathic aggravation is overcame. So we know that Dr. Hahnemann never ceased to refine his clinical method, which were based on his clinical cases. So Dr. Hahnemann in 1842 completed the manuscript of 6th edition. So last slide please. anyone is able to change the slide, last slide, please. I have completed with this particular slide. That is Enigma of Medicament Au Globule. If it would be displayed. So why it is an enigma, though he has introduced a very refined methodology of potency, which can cure away many degenerative disorders, many psychological disorders, psychiatric disorder. From A to Z, this is whatever may be the nosology, and this particular medicine, this type of potency had a power to effect. Change the slide, please. Change the slide.
Mohit sir, kindly change the slide, sir. Hello, sir.
Go for the last slide, that is on Enigma of Medicament Au Globule. Okay. So, in 1842, we know that he has completed his manuscript of 6th edition of Organon of Medicine and the 2 version of 6th edition of Organon. That is, one was in German and another was in French, was ready for publication. But Dr. Hahnemann wanted to publish the French version at first and followed by German version. But as was not able to publish it because of the bungling of his German publisher, Mr. Schaub of Dusseldorf. So world lost Dr. Hahnemann on 2nd July 1843, and the manuscript remained with Mary Milani. And through several attempts, though the several attempts were made by different homeopaths like Dr. Bonnie Hussein, Dr. Sus Hahnemann, Dr. Herring, Dr. Dunham, and Dr. Dace of London, she didn't share that particular manuscript with these people. And she died on 27th May 1878, and it was Dr. Richard Hale who managed to procure the German manuscript from the house of Dr. Hahnemann. And the manuscript was then published by Dr. Richard Hale in German, the original one in 1920. Then in 1921, Dr. William Borick of San Francisco paid $1,000 published the precise retranslated of 6th edition of Organon. So during this period of 78 years, the centesimal scale of potencies was fully established in homeopathic world. Then Dr. Kent has given his doctrine of series in degrees, and therefore even after publication of English version of 6th edition of Organon, nobody gave any importance to this new dynamization world. This highly beneficial work was in doubt until Dr. Pahoud of France and Dr. Pierre Schmidt of Geneva brought out this lost contribution of Dr. Hahnemann to limelight in the first half of 1950. In 1950, Dr. Charles Pahoud of France gave the attention of the world homeopathic physician to the 6th edition of Organon in his article, My Experience About Hahnemann's 50 millisimal scale of potency, issued in the British Homeopathic Journal. In 1954, Dr. Pierre Schmidt, MD of Geneva, published an article entitled The Hidden Treasure of Last Organon in the British Homeopathic Journal. So in India, many of the physicians were known to utilize this particular new scale of potentization. So it was Dr. S.M. Bhattacharya sir of Behrampur who wrote an article, Hahnemannian Cleansings, and he compared 50 millisimal scale of potency with centesimal scale. In 1960, Dr. R.P. Patel of Kerala wrote a book, My Experience with 50 millisimal scale of potency, and this is a marvelous compendium where he has undergone the research with 2,000 cancer patients utilizing the LM potency with marvelous result. Other people who also worked in India for LM potency was Dr. Chandipada Chakravarti sir, Dr. Harshmohan Chaudhary sir, Dr. B.K. Basu sir, Dr. S.P.D. sir. And in 1971, the first volume of HPI mentioned about the 50 millisimal scale. Thus, this potency, which can cure many homeopathic malady, is within your precisions. So I would like to call upon all the youth of homeopathic youth of India to please focus on your own pharmacology and utilize all your potencies, tailored your potencies according to the need of patient. Whatever may be the nosological diagnosis, homeopathic medicines are marvelous, and they help you in the curative process. Whether curative cases are cured with homeopathy, and it may be a good palliative rather than other conventional medicines. So thank you, and this was the end of my say. Focus on your organome, which is a practical manual of how to use homeopathy. Last slide, please. Over to you, Dr. Lavanya, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the enriching and enlightening session for us. We thank you so much, ma'am. Respected participants, if you have any question and answer session, you are welcome. Actually, you can drop the question in the chat box.
Is there any questions, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. There is a question from the participant. What is mother tincture? I did not understand. Ma'am, what is mother tincture? I did not understand is the question, ma'am.
So, preparation of this particular medicament or globule is gone through the three procedures. As the slide was not displaying, so it was very hard for the participant to know how the preparation procedure is over there. There are ample of literature where you will get a good amount of literature where the procedure has been mentioned over there. The first, what we have to prepare, a 3C potency, the mother potency, what we called it with the centesimal scale, and it takes particular 1 hour for 1C potency, second hour for 2C potency, and third hour, that is, it takes completely 3 hours for preparing the 3C potency. It is prepared according to the mixing, triturating and scrapping, and it takes 20 minutes with one part of particular drop of the mother tincture of a medicine, and the other is sacrum lactis. So then this particular preparation of 3C, one part of 3C is taken and it is converted into the liquid potency, what is called as the mother tincture of LM potency. So this one part of the tincture powder is dissolved in 500 drops of a liquid vehicle consisting of 400 drops of distilled water and 100 drops of alcohol. Alcohol is added because it serves as a preservative, and this becomes the mother tincture of 50 millisiemens potency. So this is the basic mother tincture, and out of this mother tincture, we prepare a potency that 1 drop of mother tincture is added to 100 drops of pure alcohol in clean phial, and after 100 strong succussion, this becomes the first LM potency, and then it is turned to the globule. That 1 drop of this LM drop is poured over the poppy sized of globule, and then these globules are bit dried on the blotting paper, and there we get a medicament au globule, the first 0/1 potency. So these are the various steps, and it is very easy to understand if you go through the correct literature. So it is in 5 steps I have been mentioned in my slide, but the slide was not displayed. If probably the organizer can share the slides with the person who is having a question. Thank you.
Ma'am, is there any other question from the participant, ma'am? Is nanomedicine homeopathic? similar to routine, that is decimal, centesimal, and 50 millisimal.
Yes, homeopathy is based on nanomedicine. The term nanomedicine was not in vogue during Dr. Hahnemann's time, but if you go through the various Nobel laureates, that they are working on nanotechnology. The physicist or the chemist who got the Nobel Prize this year, he was working on the DNA reparation. So there he has used the concept of blue light, which is helpful for the DNA repairing. So if you can correlate all this uh, organons concept with the recent methodologies or recent inventions, so you will be able to get more precisely the utilization of homeopathy. It is same as nanomedicine, what Dr. Hahnemann called as law of minimum, the minimum doses and reduction of the toxicity of a medicine. So this, what I have suggested you in the previous slide also, how homeopathic medicine acts. Now it has been explained by many of the scientists that it acts on quantum physics. It acts on the biomolecular level with the memory of water and all these things. So the newer invention should be correlated with the age-old organon of medicine. And organon of medicine is called as highest watermark because it has optimum things given to the field of medicine, and all the solutions of every diseases is been there, whether acute, chronic, subacute, or whatever sort of diseases are there. Hahnemann was a marvelous person who has introduced all the basic things because we know that he was the best of his knowledge of medicine. He was the best of best allopath at his time, and then he has reduced these things to the, and he was master of chemistry also. So yes, and work out on the nanotechnology also, and then correlate your law of minimum over there. Thank you. Another question, Dr. Lavanya?
Yes, ma'am. There is another question also, ma'am. What is quantum theory and is any relation with potencies?
Is related to physics, what we have learned up to 12th standard, and you can go thoroughly through the various app. What is this quantum means, and you can explain these things and correlate it with the homeopathic preparations. We have learned all these things in the up to 12th standard.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there is another question, ma'am. If the medicine is diluted, then won't it take much time for the patient to get well? This is the question, ma'am.
Homeopathic medicines act very beneficially. So there are some myths regarding homeopath. It takes a time, it root out the cause. It is all depend upon your tailoring potencies. What exact tailoring of potencies regarding the want of patients is required. If you give optimum potency, it will immediately give the cure. It will not diluting and dynamization. There is a difference. Diluting means what we are adding much more water. So if your question is pertaining to the preparation of dilutions of 50 millisievert scale, so it is no. You can, after diluting, it acts very beneficially, and it is an clinical explanation by various authors who has given their cases after utilization of this particular diluting method or plussing method according to Elizabeth. Right. So it enhances the inner healing power of the particular person. It cuts short all the disease, and the action of medicine is very fast. Because homeopathic medicine acts to the nerves and it stimulates nerves, and rather than physiological action, it acts through nerve and the action is very rapid. So by diluting, we reduce the drug toxicity, not the efficacy of the medicine. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. This is the last question. I hope so, ma'am. Is there any questions from the participant? Welcome, actually.
I request all the new budding homeopaths to stick to your pharmacology, because it was the outcome after 86 years of the life of Dr. Hahnemann, and he has worked for the betterment of humanity. So If you read your organone precisely from various textbooks correlated with other inventions and discoveries up till now to the other pharmacologies, so you would be at your best. To focus on organone and its indications regarding the homeopathic pharmacology. Even after every medicine, there is some indications given that this should be used in such potency. Lycopodium should not be given below 30th potency because the action has been enhanced above 200. So read your Matra Medica wisely. Stick to your organone. Stick to your repertories. So homeopathy is a boon for the society. I think I have done with all the things. Hopefully, over to you, Dr. Lavanya ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. Mm, Ma'am, actually, one of the participant have a question, ma'am. If possible, I will
Okay.
read for the administration mode of medicine. That is 0/1 potency, similar to mother tincture. That is taking a drop with water. Is there any difference? This is the question, ma'am.
Uh, Potency means 0 by dry potency and liquid potency. If you want difference, I think so. So that might be your question. So I suggest that if you use one single poppy seed and you administer to the patient orally, so it will not cover many of the nerves. It will not cover many nerves, but if you give in a water potency, it can cover many nerves. So it would be more effective water potency rather than the globule, single globule you prescribe. Was this a question? I think so. Hopefully, I have answered the question.
Yes, ma'am. They just want the difference between 0/1 potency similar to mother tincture. Like that, this is the question, I think, ma'am.
No. So we have gone thoroughly through the preparation, that how it enhances the action. The ratio has been given well versed in the methodologies by various physicians. Dr. Hahnemann himself has explained this methodology in pharmacy. If you go through the books of pharmacy, you will get the ratio of centesimal, mother tinctures, and 0/1. So here he has compared it with the Avogadro's number, because after Avogadro's number, the medicinal quantity is negligible, and he has explained that this particular concept with the Newton's concept of E is equal to mc square also. So there are various explanation, and you can go thoroughly through the literature, right literature. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I hope all the participants have cleared their questions. It seems. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for enlightening us with the wonderful session and enriching us with your valuable knowledge. There is an announcement for all the participants. All India Homeopathy Students and Youth Association will be conducting a international Ayush conference on 12th January 2025 on West Bengal, Kolkata, and as well as it will be conducting Ayush Youth Festival 2025 over there itself in West Bengal, Kolkata, Salt Lake. So registrations are open, and there are many events which is embedded with the International Ayush Conference also. So in the chat box, the links have been embedded in which every participant can join and have the updates regarding the conference. And I hope all the participants have their time to participate in this conference as it is online and offline. So kindly be a part of Aisha. Happy to help. And ma'am, actually, one is asking how was the degree of dilution decided, ma'am?
Is the degree of dilution, whether I want to know if you are clinician or student. If you are a student of pharmacy, homeopathic pharmacy, I think that your vigilant pharmacy teacher might have told you what is the difference between dilution and potencies. The dilutions are the addition of water, and potency means giving preparation by succussion and trituration method. We have learned the method of dynamization, and we enhance the quality of a medicine and reducing the quantity of medicine.
And the
Hopefully,
question is okay, degree of
degree of
I hope Ma'am, I request that participant to put the entire question again because the question was too clumsy, ma'am, actually.
So that's why I'm asking whether he's clinician or student. If he might be a student or first year, new first year, so he might be had not completed his pharmacy. So he will get answers, all answers in the pharmacy book and been well explained by the vigilant teachers of all institution of pharmacy. And you had a various apps with for your help. You just go and explore through the apps and you will get answer to your all questions. Hopefully, if I am not able to satisfy you.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I hope the participants have cleared their questions. Yes, ma'am. Here is the question, ma'am. How was the degree of potentization decided? I think the student is first year AHMC student, ma'am.
So he is my student only. He might be an what is his name? He is newly had been just has been admitted to the college. So that's why the degree of potency has not been yet estimated by him because yet the classes had not started. So in the
Yes, ma'am.
coming days, he would be satisfied with all the vigilant teachers how the degree of potentization would be prepared because it needs some basic introduction of pharmacy to know what is the degree of potentization.
Sure, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So hereby, I think
Done.
we have cleared all the participants' question, ma'am. I hope so. And thank you all. Thank you, ma'am. So such overwhelming response and thank you so much for enlightening us with your knowledge. And we'll be